Hello everybody, it's Aaron. Welcome to another episode of Feed the Beast. This is the last time I'm going to record this little segment. I got to do it quickly without leaving anything out. I always forget something. The reason I'm recording this now before we do anything is because I'm going to put up a world download with this one, and I wanted to show you what's happening before I put smooth stone or glass over everything. So first of all, we need to look at the multi-block farm up here. I actually kind of like this. Everybody was complaining, but I think it's okay. This is everything that I got from it, plus 3 stacks of saplings, plus everything in here. So actually quite a bit of stuff. The one thing it's important to note is this thing changes the ID for some saplings. So this is a vanilla sapling. This is the one that comes out of the forestry thing. It's important because if you set up a barrel and you have a relay right here like I do, the machine puts everything in the relay automatically. But if you only have barrels and this is one ID, you get the other sapling in there somehow and it'll jam it up. So just be aware of that. It's not that big of a deal as long as you know that it's a possibility. I like this. I have my aqueous accumulator right there in the middle. I put my, the hydrator block or the valve or whatever right in the middle in the center underneath, and I hid the aqueous accumulator. I like it because you have more than one input point, whereas on the other thing you only had like, one of 6 sides or whatever. So I kind of like it. That's my opinion. You get a ton of saplings and a ton of apples, so I mean that'll make a lot of biomass right there. So first things first about this, I turned off the fuel and I turned on the biofuel. So as soon as this bit of fuel drains, the biofuel is already on. It's going to fill up. And this is actually gaining steadily, probably a bucket about every 15 seconds or so. I have 4 engines right here. You can run 2 steam engines, 2 industrial steam engines per liquiduct on high pressure at full speed or whatever. So it doesn't matter if they're all 4 connected to 2 pipes or whatever, as long as you have the same ratio of 2 engines to 1 pipe, you're okay. So I've got 4 here. I've got 4 here, and they're all tied together right now. Those 8 engines, they run the fermenter, the reed harvester, and all 4 stills. And then I've got 1 engine that goes to the wheat farm, 1 engine that goes to the peat bog, and the other tree farm, the original tree farm. These engines right here, this is all the free power. This is all the power that is not going back into any part of the system. This is what you would use to do whatever you needed to do. I have it tied in right now because I don't have anything to use it for at the moment. But it's the same thing. I've got 4 engines for 2 liquiducts on top and on bottom. And I found out that you can put levers directly on these engines, which is nice because it's kind of a pain sometimes to find a place to put that. So that's what's happening. I'm going to finish prettying all this up. If I were going to do this again, I'd probably skip all the BS with the tree farms, unless I really just needed the wood for something, and I would go with 2 reed farms. The reason is because you don't have to put anything back into them. There's no humus or seeds or saplings or bog earth or any of that nonsense. You plant your reeds and then they harvest. Plain and simple. I think 2 of these would probably keep this thing running forever. As long as you kept fertilizer in your fermenter, no problem. Those things actually do have a value in a solid fueled firebox, but I don't think it's enough to really make an impact. Speaking of solid fueled fireboxes, obviously the blaze rod thing would be much easier. I thought it would have been kind of cheaty though, because I kind of wanted something that used its own power to generate more power for itself and excess. And it's fairly minimal intervention at this point. The peat bog isn't really running, but as long as there's humus in that thing and fertilizer in the fermenter, you're all set. So I think what I'm going to do the rest of the episode, and I'm not going to actually record it until tomorrow. It'll be instantaneous for you guys. I think I'm going to make one of these steam turbine things, and it takes a lot of steel, so I'm going to start cooking it up tonight. And it takes a lot. I have to read up on it. I think you need at least 12 of these, and then you have to make the rotor, which is 3 turbine discs, each of which is a blade around a block of steel. So I didn't know you could cook blocks into blocks. It probably costs the same amount of fuel though, so there's probably no benefit to that. So I think that's what we're going to do, just to kind of mess around and check that thing out, because I'm kind of curious, and somebody made a comment about it, so I figured, what the hell. So I'm going to get that stuff ready, and I'll see you guys in just a minute. Welcome back, everybody. Apparently the spider wants to ruin my return. That's alright. So I did a little decorating. I'm not the greatest decorator. We know this. I kind of like it. I haven't decided if I'm going to put anything in the middle right there. I'll probably just leave it, though. What the hell is happening right there? Though on the new tree farm, I did put the leaves kind of around. I left a little gap. And unfortunately, it looks like cherry blossoms on the mini map, but that's okay. So I made a bunch of steel, got my breakfast, got my coffee. I'm ready to do this. And I no longer have a shortcut because I kind of closed everything up. Finished this wall. Made the stairs. So we're going to see how this goes. And I have 13 stacks of steel, I think. Give or take. Maybe 14. We'll see if it's enough. So what we need to do... now I want turbine. So we have to make a turbine rotor, which is 3 of these. So I'm going to need 3 blocks of steel and, what is that, 24 blades. And we're going to need more blocks, I think, when we actually make the housing. It's 2x3x2. It's kind of like a multi-block thing, like a lot of the other Railcraft stuff. Alright, so... let's see if that'll get it. I figured I'd make the rotor first. And then actually make the housing. So I'm going to need 4 sets. So I'm going to need 16 blocks and 16 plates. And of course you only get 3. You end up with an odd number. I hate that. So I have to make more than I actually need. Alright, so while that's working, we'll make 16 more blocks. Yep, that is a block of, or that is a steel plate, right? Okay. hate when you shift click, it doesn't go here, it goes here. Alright, and I made another MFE. This thing I think is supposed to give like 100 EU per tick if it gets 320 steam units. So let's put it right here. And there it is. And we have to put our turbine rotor right there. And let's go ahead and we'll go ahead and set up the MFE. I won't fully connect it yet. And don't tell me I'm out of liquiducts. I could be. Four. Don't know if that's going to be enough. And I've never had to knock that one before, so I bet I have to disconnect these because it's going to lose steam since it's going out those pipes. Maybe it only spins if it has some place to put the power. Alright, let's hook it up. Oh, there we go. Look at that. 50%. So that's probably only about 50 EU per tick, so we've got to use, what did I do that? Let's see if that'll do anything. It does a little bit. Let's rewire this a little. So we'll hook that one up there. I'll probably have to steal some more from the engines over here. That's okay. Let's see, I can run one right there. Getting closer. Look at that. All right. So, four liquiducts runs this thing at 100%. Now it's really moving. So, I don't really need this for anything. I just figured since we were messing around with the steam, somebody made a comment about it, so I figured, you know what? We can make that. So, let's make it. And it didn't even use, I cooked way too much steel. It didn't even use probably a quarter of it. So there is steam for MJ and EU. Of course, if you use 4 pipes for this, you're sacrificing 8 engines, essentially. And these guys still run even after the steam stops. That's pretty cool. So keep that in mind. If you want to split it with EU and MJ, you could actually use all your MJ to process your fuel and stuff, and then use all your EU to actually, you know, run your base. So that didn't take as long as I thought it was going to take. Here's a question. Number one, what do we do now? What's next? What do you guys want to do? Number two, should we let this thing blow up for science? I only ask this because we need to know how big the explosion is, and this could very easily explode in your world if you're not paying attention or something, or if something goes wrong, or if your chunk unloads and your water doesn't pump in, or whatever. So let me know what you think about that, because I'll let it blow. I kind of want to see what happens. So let me know. It would be very easy to do. All I have to do is disconnect this pipe right here, and then the water actually, we can watch how fast it drains out of there. I won't let it blow right now. But it steadily goes down. I mean, it doesn't happen, you know, lickety split or anything, but you can see, you know, it's decreasing. So let me know if you guys want to see that happen, because I'm all for it. No problem. So I guess that's going to do it for this episode. It's going to be a short one. Yeah, that's all I have. Let me know what you want to do next, and let me know if you want to let this thing blow up so we can see what happens. It's all for science. It's all good. So, as always, questions, comments, suggestions. Oh, by the way, one more thing. Somebody made a comment about my reed farm pattern, and I thought I mentioned it when I was setting it up. You know, initially when I set it up upstairs to do the test, I did the really efficient pattern, and I didn't feel like doing it in there because it was such a pain in the ass. So I just did it in the, you know, just the regular old checkerboard pattern. So you guys, I guess I don't know if it's double the read output or what, but if you guys set something like that up, you may want to take that into consideration. I just didn't really care. So questions, comments, suggestion, please leave them down below. The world download is going to go up with this one, and I'm going to back it up right when I finish recording. So it'll be before the explosion if we have one. So thank you very much for watching. I'll see you guys next time.